Sal. We're joined by another special guest today. We've got Jack Stern with us. Jack, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jason. I'm excited for the walk and talk today in beautiful, picturesque Palm Beach, as you can see right here in the background. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to talk about the new members-only Palm Beach show airing on Netflix. We're going to talk about Mamdani. We're going to get into national politics. Maybe there will be other fun things along the way, so stay tuned and let's have fun.
Yes, and you all know me. I'm back in black, and if you don't know, if you haven't watched my show, the Sal Greco show, Jack is my producer, and he plays an on-air role as well, and his opinion matters just like anyone else because he's got a ton of experience in media. He lives out here in West Palm Beach, which is where we're at today, and the reason we're here today is, unfortunately, you know, Jason won't be back in Florida for a while, so I wanted to take him to where we used to have a pier here. It's no longer here, but we're going to show you what's here now. But these are the scenes of beautiful West Palm, which everyone knows is the home of the one and only President Donald Trump. So this is a look-see at the area if you haven't been here before.
It's pretty nice over here, Sal. I don't think I've been here before too much. I don't even know if I've been here at all before today. But people can follow you at the Sal Greco. And also, Jack, people can follow you at J_Stern97.
That's right.
You guys are doing all kinds of broadcasts on Sal's channel there.
The muscle car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can.
Supercharged Hemis are big down here.
The show is also streaming on X at the Sal Greco, also on YouTube at the Sal Greco Show, and on Rumble at the Sal Greco Show. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok at the Sal Greco Show. Same thing on Instagram. And of course, the show streams Mondays and Thursdays at 11:05 a.m.
Sal, there's been a lot going on with Eric Adams,
Oh,
Kaz
yes.
Daughtry. It's the grift that keeps on taking. We got something with parking placards. You broke that story.
Yes, I did.
So what was going on there with that
Okay,
whole
so
thing?
as people know, if you're a resident of New York City, unfortunately, former New York City Mayor Eric Adams had him and his best of friends there, Kaz Daughtry, who was the deputy mayor of public safety, but of course he was in the New York City Police Department as well, on their way out, and we'll get to the whole Bitcoin fiasco. On their way out, the NYPD, as you know, on their vehicles, they get handed placards, and they're parking placards. You'll see restricted parking plaques for cops that are working for their car, so that you can park your car where you have to be at work. And then there are the ones for the unmarked vehicles, which are all those, you know, Crown Victorias you see that have, you know, they work in the precincts. Also Category 1 and 2 cars, which belong to executives. Also,
could be any car.
yeah, undercovers have the car, also internal affairs. Whoop. And it matters because these vehicles need parking placards. What nobody knows that we found out is that apparently someone, a detective very close to Kaz Daughtry, still in the NYPD, was the person in charge of handing out these placards. And apparently these placards that belong to these vehicles went missing. And they went into the hands of Kaz Daughtry and Eric Adams, and God knows where they're at. So the soccer mom, the illustrious police commissioner of New York City, has redesigned this unmarked plaque, and in particular redesigned the whole plaque, because even the restricted parking placards now have a different design than last year. But to this date, some people have the restricted parking placards that are starting to hand those out, but the unmarked ones and ones that belong to the Category 1 car, Category 2 car, they're MIA, because right now we weren't supposed to find out about this. So this is a huge scandal. Once again, shows that there was a breach. We don't know if there's an investigation. I asked NYPD DCPI. Jason's done the same thing. You have that woman Delaney there. I'm sure she's really thrilled to see my name pop up and email her. There's been no word, so we don't know what's the breach about, if there's an investigation, and why did they redesign the plaque. These are the three things we should know. This is a public safety issue. Every person right now, every taxpayer should be asking, how the hell did this even occur and why?
And Sal, a lot of people might say, come on, parking, who cares? What's the big deal?
Oh, yeah, that's
But
it.
it's $750 a month in New York City to park your car. They're obviously selling these to people.
But how would you feel knowing technically civilians, or they're not members of the police department, have NYPD parking placards for their car when they're not
that's
members of
what
the police
I mean.
department? Why is that even occurring? I don't know. And this is...
Because you can also park places that nobody can park. And
Correct.
basically create a dangerous situation.
Correct.
Right?
And this is why this is a public safety issue, and everyone should be asking how this breach even occurred. And where, if, or there is an investigation, there should be, that's actually a criminal act. You can't be in possession of this.
Well,
I
and if
mean,
they're getting paid, if Kaz Daughtry is getting paid to give out parking
well,
placards.
yeah, there's a lot of, I can't go that far, I don't know because of possibilities.
If.
But again, you're leaving it where, you know, this is a public safety issue, and we
Now-
want to
now, hang
know
on.
why this is going on. This is beautiful here.
It is. We've got people body surfing in the waves over here. Where are we, guys? This is Palm Beach, or is there some
Yeah,
name
no,
to
this,
this?
this is Palm Beach, and even on a day where it's only about 73, 74, 75 degrees, people still are going out in the ocean and surfing. And even if it's a little bit too cold in the water for some folks, others are just taking a nice casual stroll on the beach. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. But back to what we were talking about with Kaz Daughtry. There's blood all over this administration.
Do me a favor, operate for a second here, Jack. I want to make sure our levels are all good on the audio.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing my best Jason imitation, Sal, if you want to come in here with me. But yeah,
Yes.
about a year ago at this time, that's when Jeffrey Maddrey was caught giving out overtime. The administration under Edward Caban was known to possibly be selling promotions, especially at the detective level, to the second and third grade level, and then also in some cases
Pay for play.
for special assignment as well. So if what's going on with the parking plaques is consistent with what took place under Jeffrey Maddrey and Eric Adams, there's a possibility that they were being sold out to private citizens who shouldn't be having these parking passes. And if that is the case, they need to be held responsible, right?
I'm looking at this saying there should be an investigation. We don't know why. We don't understand what's going on because they won't answer. You know, DCPI, you know, listen, you work for the public. The public have the right to know, especially something very important like this. And
But hang on, what is DCPI? Do people know?
Deputy Commissioner of Public Information. Public Information.
And
NYPD.
Tariq Shepard
Used to
previously
be,
held that position.
Yeah, remember
as
when
well.
he held that position, what kind of garbage you were dealing with. But Delaney, who is the top lieutenant there for the soccer mom, she is put a hex on everyone in the media. You're not allowed to even talk bad about this woman. If you notice, take a good look in New York City media. Tell me where you see anyone writing anything even critical of the soccer mom, other than she's great, her
Didn't
family's great.
Adami
Mom-
do something where he took her down a notch?
Well, Mamdani, well, here's the thing. I could tell you that behind the scenes, there's a huge, you know, grift behind the scenes. She does not talk to him directly. Their little press conference is all fugazi. She does not, she has to talk to an intermediary. So what's going on here is he wants her out, but she's Hochul's friend, and Hochul needs his endorsement to become governor, right? Because you need his little group of radicals to
Right.
actually vote for Kathy Hochul. So what's
Look
happening
at
is,
this, we got a camper here.
I know this is
Little
beautiful.
van life happening.
Are you guys camping in this van? What's going on here?
I made it myself.
You
You
made
made it?
all of this
Yeah,
yourself?
mine.
This is yours? Do you have like a bed in here and stuff?
Yeah.
Wow, they have like a full-fledged mattress and a
Don't
table
mean
where
to
they can
intrude
sit.
on your home, but this is a cool
Yeah.
van. Thank you.
This isn't trespassing, right? I just want to make sure. Okay.
This is
good.
this.
This is where the hammock is, and so are you guys from the area, or do you kind of?
From Montreal.
You're from Montreal, and you drove all the
Montreal.
way down to Florida. What brings you down here?
The waiter.
The weather. Yeah, aren't we all here for the weather? But yeah, no, this is really cool. What made you guys want to come up with this idea?
But that's her. Everything from her.
What made you want to do this?
Oh, because I just want to travel for myself. And
Oh.
so I can drive it and park it
Montreal's
everywhere.
very cold
Where else have you guys
right
gone?
now.
Oh my gosh.
But this morning
Everywhere.
was pretty
We
cool.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Well-
we have
I-
one conversation.
I do 14 states.
14 states?
Yeah.
Wow.
And all the east of Canada.
East of Canada as well?
Yeah.
And was it a lot colder up in Montreal when you guys left, I would assume?
Yeah, it was minus 20 Celsius.
Minus 20 degrees Celsius. What does that translate to in Fahrenheit?
Minus 35.
Minus 35 degrees. That's dangerous.
It's
Holy
like
cow.
you put your glass of water outside, and 5 minutes later, it's ice. You can drink it.
I got a lot of friends who live in Montreal. The reason they come down here, A, for the weather, and B, they're sick of the communism that's running Canada.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
It is communist up there, as you know.
I don't know. I'm not in politics.
But the guy that runs the country is a commie.
Yeah.
It's communist. It's a commie.
Now these accents, these are French Canadian
Yeah,
accents?
French Canadian.
Wow.
Is
Yeah.
that obvious?
Well, I couldn't tell. I thought maybe you guys were from somewhere else via Canada.
No.
But
Oh, French Canadian.
well,
better in English.
thanks for sharing your van with us and enjoy Florida while you're down here.
That's a YouTube channel.
Yes, crowdsource
Yeah,
the truth.
crowdsource the truth. That's what we're doing.
Crowdsource the truth.
on
On
YouTube.
YouTube? We'll go see that for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Take
absolutely.
care.
Thank you so much for showing us your home.
Yeah, this is great. Good luck with everything.
Yeah.
Good job.
This is
on the spot interview there, Jack.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, you never know what you're going to see in Palm Beach. There's like a saying that goes, you see something new every day. One day you see
including
someone.
a TV show.
Yeah, including this new,
This new
TV,
TV
show
show.
on Netflix, which has really been the talk of the town over the past couple of weeks. It's called Members Only Palm Beach, but the caveat here is that none of the show is actually filmed on Palm Beach Island. It's all filmed in about a 16-mile radius in Palm Beach County, which stretches roughly from Jupiter down to Boca Raton. And I don't know, in a world where the economy is struggling and Americans are having a tough time paying basic living expenses, it's a little bit weird to be glorifying women who have such extreme wealth that they're driving around 4 BMWs, 3 Mercedes,
Well, I
they're
think they
learning
like
how to play.
making shows about that, right? They
Yeah,
like
that's
having
true, but-
Beverly Hills 90210. I mean, this is one of the wealthiest zip codes in the United States, isn't it? I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been here before. I don't know how many people who are watching have seen Palm Beach, but these are obviously condos or hotels. What are we looking at here?
So these that you guys can see in your screen are condos, but if we go into some of the streets up Worth Ave, Peruvian, some of the other streets on the island, you're going to start to see the quote-unquote bad and bougie homes
We should
that
do that.
are being advertised. Yeah, we can go past Worth
Well,
Ave.
I want
and
to
hook
show
around.
everybody here before we get back to, Mr. Mamdani trying to replace the current police commissioner. This hasn't been here. It's been here for about 13 or 14 years, but this is the infamous clock tower in West Palm. Now, in there's a plaque. And on this plaque, you would read that in about, I believe, 1969, there was a pier here, and the pier, the water kept taking it down. There was a whole little stretch of shops, and that's why what they did is they took that all down and eventually built all these homes in the road, and that's how they got this clock tower here. It's like an homage to the pier that used to be here.
It disappeared, you might say.
It disappeared. The pier disappeared, and there's a plaque in there to prove it.
Here's the plaque.
Yeah, and this is really defined as one of the landmarks in Palm Beach as well, alongside Mar-a-Lago, the Colony Hotel, Bucan, which is a famous restaurant, great gourmet sandwich spot.
So what's
if
the
anyone's in the
history
area.
of Mar-a-Lago? It's a famous building, isn't it?
It's been there for a very long time, since
Why did Trump want to buy it?
it was a dump that he redeveloped.
Well, so Trump
was
was
a dump.
looking for a warmer weather place to kind of live at some point in time in his life, and he stumbled upon Palm Beach in particular because it was an up-and-coming area at the time where a lot of New York City transplants were moving. You fast forward
Still do.
4 decades, and now everyone from the tri-state area wants to come live here, from New Jersey to
You're
the 5
from
boroughs.
Florida? You were born here?
No, I was born in Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn. Grew
So
up
is
in
that
New
how
York
you
City.
guys know each other?
No, we met actually through John Macari in the Finest Stuff
Correct.
website.
Through that's how he became my producer, and he's stuck by me ever since. You know?
Yeah, no,
Loyalty
definitely.
is key in life. You know, you got to be loyal.
No, of
And
course, of
but
course.
Mamdani's not being loyal. He's not going to be loyal to the soccer mom. And I can tell you one thing. I'll tell you right here. She will be replaced. She should be replaced by a former chief on the job. His name is Abbasi. He's a very good guy. But apparently that's not the name that I was given. That is not who's going to be taking over.
Who's going to take over?
I have to, I'm going to reveal that soon. That I'm getting extra data on this, because when you see it and why, you're going to say, this is another crony, someone who, again, this person has no experience in the police department, never put on a uniform. So you're going from what, a soccer mom to the soccer dad. I don't know. This is what might happen here. So I'm going to reveal this all. It's very, I can't believe that they're going to do something like this, but it only makes sense because the party, the Democrat Party, they're really the ones calling the shots here. Because
if you're going to get injured, make it a twin turbo Mercedes, because they definitely have the insurance.
Yeah, but so you would hope if you're the NYPD, you get a bossy who came from the job, was very hands-on, knows the integral parts of the police department, the culture, but that's not the name that was given to me. And there's a lot to this. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but when I put the data all together for you guys, you're gonna say, oh my God, I can't believe it. So, I don't know what to say. I've been given a lot of rope to Mamdani, but lately this guy shows that he is the novice politician I told everyone he was. He had a bad week.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation yesterday on the air. Sal asked me, how long do you think it will be until Jessica Tisch finds a new job, whether it be in the public sector or in the private sector doing lobbying or something like that? Because I think she's probably going to be staying in politics. And I put the over-under and Polymarket, if you want to put this up on your website, go ahead. Or Kalashi, or all of these betting websites love betting on bureaucracy and city government and all that stuff. So I'm putting the over-under at 6 more months with Jessica Tisch. And the reason I say that is she's probably going to want to try and jump to another job within city government. And the relationship between her and Mamdani, well, not off to a great start. I mean, they're cordial right now, but over time that's going to start to erode, especially as natural things start to happen. If there's a shooting, a police-involved event, there's going to be a lot of conflict between the two, especially with Tisch's responsibilities being kind of stripped away for the time being. She's someone who very much so likes to manage, and although she doesn't have the respect of the police department, once she's neutered even more by this current administration, it's going to change
This is very
everything.
beautiful.
Now let's hang on a second here, fellas, because we're in like a Beverly Hills level. Tell us about this. This is just shopping, or what do we got?
Yeah, so this is where everyone brings their trophy wives and girlfriends to have a good time, or their significant other, someone they want to treat to a nice day. But it's like super upscale furniture and shopping bags and clothing, and I mean, if you want it, it's in here. And if it's overseas somewhere in Italy or Spain, then it's also probably in Palm Beach. Right there, over there, you have Sicily, Paris. So you can only find the stuff in there in France. And Palm Beach, of course.
Wow.
So the 3 richest area codes in America, as I understand it, are Southern California, Orange County, the Hamptons, and Palm Beach. So we are standing in one of the 3 wealthiest areas in America.
Not Beverly Hills?
I don't think Beverly Hills is on that list.
Wow.
No, I think the Hamptons is actually above Beverly Hills. We'll have to check that later, but either way, this is very iconic territory.
And as you can tell, you don't see any symbols of criminal activity around here.
That's true. That's true.
Remember that. That's a big thing. But
Except for the person who almost hit Jason, of course, and the car crash that happened
She
right
wasn't
before we
looking.
came in.
It would have been negligence, but not criminal.
well, they're going to claim that. Yeah, they're going to claim. Well, over here, it's not. The car insurance is like no fault or whatever. It's completely different here if you get into an accident in Florida. By the way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can be an uninsured motorist as well. That's one of the differences, and that actually segues to something interesting that's going on right now legislatively in the
They're in the
state
witness
capitol.
protection program. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I did, but I feel comfortable talking about this. Up in Tallahassee, they're having a debate right now about whether or not to raise auto insurance premiums, which would end up putting a lot of money in the pockets of not only the companies, but the personal injury attorneys, the big dogs in South Florida who are making a lot of money.
Jack. Why is the government
make good money.
voting about something private industry like that, raising the insurance rates? I mean, we hear also Trump is talking about he wants to cap credit card rates. The government is getting a little too involved in business for my taste.
Yeah, and it's also problematic because there's too many people, especially in a place like Palm Beach, who are living a lifestyle off of credit. You know, even if someone's net worth is $5 million, they might be living the lifestyle of a $15 million person, right? And we've gotten into a habit as a society of taking out loans, going into debt, paying for everything with a credit card, and that's not healthy because as the debt rate goes up, the economy continues to struggle even more. So that's been a hot topic of debate recently.
Why did you park your car over here?
Never, never, never.
Yeah,
What is
see-
that? Is that a Benz?
That's a Mercedes
yeah,
Turbo
compressor SL.
SL AMG.
There's like, so 3 out of the last 4 cars that we've seen walking along Worth Ave have been Mercedes, and it's very feast or famine here. You either see a Mercedes, a Lambo, or an Audi, or it's like everyone else drives a Toyota or a Ford or a Honda. There's no in between.
And listen, we have, you know, Jack's wearing a long sleeve shirt, so am I.
It's a little cool today.
All black.
Yeah.
It's a little cool. It's never this cool. This is one of the few days of the year with, I mean, this morning was 30 degrees.
Yeah.
You never get that. I'm on, you know, New York City, up north, you get that.
Iguanas falling out
And
of
the
trees.
iguanas are falling out of a tree here. It's sad, you know, but that's what happens. It's only once in a blue moon, you do for that around here.
Now, Sal, how come you wouldn't try to be with the Palm Beach police or something like that? Again, it's this problem of having to work 20 years to get the pension.
Yes, well, you, since I'm decertified in the system, you would have to go through an entire process
It's
to
like
get
starting if you're 20.
correct, and you're starting from zero again, and then you still have a pending lawsuit, which means anyone here can recognize my face and just sue me just for the hell of it for whatever police interaction.
And that
you
will
have.
happen because
And-
Roger Stone has great brand
Yes.
recognition in Palm Beach.
And Roger
so-
Stone is well known around here as well, so you're going to have your fans and detractors. So we got to settle this case. Either we go on a trial, whatever we're going to do. But and by the way, there'll be news on that on Monday, exclusively on the Sal Greco show. So stay tuned to that one.
Nice.
Stay tuned. And in regards to the Palm Beach Police Department, it's a very politicized department as well, which is another reason why Sal probably shouldn't join them.
Who's just passed us up. By the
Yeah,
way.
no, it's okay. I didn't say that
There's
within
2 walking
earshot.
talks in a row. We've seen the police.
I didn't say that within earshot of them, but no, I mean, they're funded by the money, the taxpayer money from the wealthy people in town. So there's been a lot of questions and skepticism over the
Epstein.
years about Epstein's case, yep, and how they've handled DUIs with rich people. So it's been a
Which
hot
was my
topic of debate.
specialty.
Yeah, it's almost like being a police officer in the Hamptons in that sense, I
now
guess.
you notice this.
Look around.
This is Worth Avenue, and it looks like you're in Beverly Hills. It's
Beverly
set up-
Hills
it
or
really
Borough
does.
Park, right?
Oh.
There's a lot of Hasidic and Orthodox people who live here nowadays too.
But Beverly Hills was what I was thinking is what it's most reminiscent of.
Reminiscent of. See, we have a clock up here. So
We have a
you
clock.
kinda
Let's take
see-
a look at some houses too. We can go down a few
Let's do
blocks
it.
and look at some of the nice
You
houses.
get a little bit of everything here on the Crowdsource the Truth. You're getting facts, you're getting political news, you're getting travel blogs, you get everything here. And of course, the random just running into people like Zohran Mamdani on the street when you're just.
I don't think he's here right now.
I know, but I mean, you did do that. You were just
Yeah.
randomly in a crowd, and you had some questionable, shady
He
characters.
was protesting Tesla. I was really surprised that Elon Musk and Tesla
Did
didn't
that.
take any kind
Yeah.
of legal action against that NGO that was funding that whole thing. You know, he's talking about it all day on X. Jack, why'd you park the M4 here?
Oh,
But he didn't do anything when he had an opportunity to do it. And by the way, along the lines of diverse information on Crowdsource the Truth, we have a little counter lawfare news. This is probably going to be our last walk and talk for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I was hanging out here in South Florida trying to get a contempt hearing against George Webb's malicious brother.
Who
And
continues
unfortunately,
his brigade of just this is.
quasi-litigation
Yeah, this is
harassment.
not. It's harassment. It's lawfare. It's meant to burn you down, waste your money, waste your time, try to defame your father. You know, it's just nonsense.
And we didn't get the contempt hearing, so unfortunately, you know, that's that. But what's interesting, Sal, is I think I might have cracked the code a little bit because, see, with you or anybody that they traditionally try the lawfare game on,
Yes.
they want you to rely on an attorney and really burn up your money in addition to your time and your energy to do this kind of stuff. And by me taking on all these cases pro se, my father is representing himself pro se in the case, I think they're not prepared to deal with that.
No, I don't think so, because they're not used to that.
Not used to
They
that.
want you to get your own attorney. This way you spend your own money. And this is
Exactly.
what
I
it's
would
just,
not have been able to keep it up this long.
It's designed to boggle you down. And I don't like these things. If you got a legitimate case, so be it. You know, civil case, criminal case. But you just bring in suits and wasting the court's time and stuff. There should be, you should have to pay penalties, get sanctions.
Something
You know,
should happen.
It shouldn't be like this because you've been 9 freaking years, you're dealing with the same issue and it's never been resolved and it just continues and continues. And sometimes the judges just look at someone and say, hey, you must be watching The Ultimate Warrior on WWE reruns because this is like the Q movement where you guys are just insane and you keep bringing the same thing over and over again 10 different ways. Someone needs to be the adult in a room and say, hey, yeah, you come here again, we might have to whisk you away to a hospital, an institution,
There is an important difference with what's going on here. Jack, why'd you park the Lamborghini over here?
That's a Lamborghini.
I would never do that, but this kind of is something that I always found weird. A lot of rich people seem to like Range Rovers and Land Rovers for some reason.
Yeah.
The lifespan of those cars, like this one, which is parked right over here, the Discovery, these cars apparently only last 8 to 10 years, so it seems like a particularly bad investment. Now,
Yeah, but
if
a
you have
rich
$45
person's
million,
not keeping
it's
a
not
car
a big
that
deal.
long.
Yeah, but
No.
still.
Keep it moving.
One
Maybe-
last thought on the counter lawfare. The important difference is, and this is not a joke, everything with those loony, stupid Mario brothers prior to this has been in district court, which is federal. Jack, you left your Bentley here. This was Florida state court.
Which is a completely different venue.
Completely different venue, but
Yeah.
the point is that there is evidence that suggests that George and his brother are protected by, working for, doing something with, I don't know exactly, but the FBI, the DHS, the federal government. And if that is true, listen, there's been a lot of things said by and about Larry Klayman. He and I have had disagreements. There's
Oh,
one
yeah, I
thing
know
that
that
he
guy.
said, though, that was very important to remember. He said that the most dangerous thing that the unhinged fringe is doing is messing with the courts, because when we reach the critical mass of people no longer believing that we have a civil resolution to disputes, that's when society breaks down and you're going to have violence. And I think he's right about that. I'm not suggesting that there should be, but it's a danger. And
We are seeing it as we speak in
right.
Minneapolis. It's spreading like wildfire everywhere. You got ice running around. Some of it, listen, they shouldn't be 100 miles past that border right now. That's like,
No.
There's a law. They're acting like they're police. They're not even trained to do it. They're not supposed to do it. It's just, and then the civilians that are protesting, then they break into vehicles. It's just,
that was crazy.
That was insane what I was watching.
Stealing an
That was
FBI
ridiculous.
rifle.
And we saw Derek Chauvin get convicted years ago to the applause of everyone who lived in Minneapolis. I'm beginning to wonder what's going to happen based on the decision of this officer.
Hey, Santa's
Right?
still
Oh.
out there. Hey, Santa.
So there should be a rule in mainstream society that
Jack's Tesla.
when, this is my new Tesla, by the
This is
way.
his Tesla.
When January 1st, the new year hits, you are mandated to take down all of your Christmas decorations. Like, I hate walking past and
We
seeing
don't want
Santa.
mandates, though.
Santa, it's 2 weeks too late for you. Come on, go away.
It's interesting how accessible. This is obviously a very expensive home, and it's just right here.
Incredibly
on the sidewalk.
expensive, with the Tesla poorly parked and a basketball net with 2 balls sitting in the bushes. So we could, theoretically speaking, we're not going to do it, but we could pick up the basketballs and start shooting.
we don't want to do
Well,
that.
No, we're not going to do that. But it's a little bit odd. It's
But
so
it,
out
it
in the open.
speaks to the standard level of presumed safety in this neighborhood. Nobody is worried.
No.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you never know if a certain
That's good.
Bitcoin fraudster might show up here and try to become the mayor of this town. Who knows?
Well, what's happening with that?
Oh,
We've heard
my
that
God.
Eric Adams had his NYC coin rug pull.
Which was supposed to be combating anti-Semitism. It lost
Yeah.
75% of its value.
80.
80%
Within
of its
like
value.
an hour.
Nine
Within
minutes.
9 minutes. Yeah, I don't even think it was an hour. I actually
9
just
minutes.
checked. It was within 9 minutes. Less
How
than
is
10
that
minutes.
not criminal?
It is criminal.
It's the security.
He's not being
It's
convicted.
an SEC violation. This guy is gonna. Listen. You can't trade property, even in Bitcoin. It still counts as a property. You're trading property. Therefore, it is a crime. And investors, and I had it up on my screen. There were plenty of investors that lost between 10,000, 100,000. And there's a load of them, not like one. I'm talking about hundreds of people. And then, of course, the way they pulled the rug on this, and best terminology for me to tell people, if you've watched The Wolf of Wall Street with Jordan Belfort,
Yeah.
what they would do is called a pump and dump. That's
Yeah.
a scam, which they did with the Bitcoin. Now, the Haktui lady did the same thing, but here is the catch with Eric Adams. as the face of this coin.
He's got credibility as the former
But
mayor.
this is what he did. So a guy came out, he went to the city, Greg B. Smith, the Dean of Journalism in New York City, and he presented him this thing and said, hey, I copyrighted this name and I'm the rightful trademarked owner of this. I told him about this a year ago, and now this guy just does this whole thing and cuts him out.
What do you mean, NYC coin?
Yes, there was someone else copyrighted that. It was his idea.
So it's criminals cheating criminals.
Yeah, it's just one big, like, I just can't believe what's going, unbelievably, Eric Adams cannot, like I said, if Eric Adams saw a penny on the table, he'll try to sell it to you. He's been this way from day one in the NYPD, but and then you find out that what? His stooge, that wannabe Crumbs crew member who thought he had the seat at the table of success, but he's a gopher, Tony Herbert, gets indicted for shaking people. So he's not only taking bribes, he's not only committing PPE loan fraud, he went around to funeral directors and shook them down, and he's talking like Pearson, where's my crumbs, right? Talking like that, and he's basically taking advantage of working people, shaking them down for a security company with housing, right? Because he was part of the housing development thing. And he was making money doing this. And with the housing, the security company that got that contract belonged to who? Phil Banks, who was being run by his sergeant, who then retired and became the head of the security company, Swaza. So this whole thing, because there's 3 people named in this lawsuit, in this indictment, that are going unidentified. I think I know exactly who they are. Be on the lookout, because that indictment screams.
Which indictment is that?
The indictment of Tony Herbert screams as that's just the smallest fish on the hook. He better start talking.
What's the latest news with Letitia James and her hairdresser?
Well, you heard about that, and you haven't heard anything since.
There's a coalition of Democrats in New York City right now who are essentially not only protecting her, but protecting each other. And that includes Brad Lander, who's stolen taxpayer money to go instigate fights with ICE agents.
Wow.
It includes
Instead
Zora
of doing
Mamdani.
his job.
And on that note, it's very interesting that Governor Kathy Hochul said yesterday on Fox News when talking with Morgan Mackay that she didn't know if she was going to go out and seek Mamdani's endorsement. And
she didn't know?
Yeah, she didn't know. She said perhaps she was going to do it, maybe she wasn't. But she's done all of Mamdani's bidding legislatively. She was handing out pamphlets about ballot amendments the day of the election when Mamdani had not yet taken a stance on some of these initiatives. And listen, at this point in time, she needs Mamdani more than Mamdani needs her, because she's an older politician. She's running the show up in Albany, and Mamdani is slowly becoming more and more powerful. Brad Lander's the perfect example. Brad Lander,
put some more money in the meter for your Maserati.
Yeah, I got it in a few minutes. But with Lander, he did all of Mamdani's campaigning throughout election season, and then Mamdani ditched him. He was going to become the first deputy mayor, and Mamdani kind of kicked him to the curb a little bit. Now he's running for Congress against Dan Goldman, which was condemned by Nancy Pelosi, so that's not going to go well for him either.
Yeah, this is just a fiasco. You got meme coins, you got indictments, you got placards missing.
But they can't really do anything about the meme coin, because basically
No,
the Trumps...
that's not true, because what they did is, see, the IRS and the Treasury Department, this is not the DOJ. They just bring an indictment and then they can wait 18 months. Trump's term is 3 years. If you actually time this out, you could get Eric Adams. You just have to do it, because they got to investigate. There's going to be more people than just Eric. Obviously, Eric doesn't have people to rub the knife on. He's clearly involved solo.
How does this go back to the kidnapping, the crypto kidnapping?
That's a separate issue. That's a completely
But isn't
different...
this all part of his whole crypto lifestyle?
Kind of his whole... He's so...
Brock Pearson, or who was it?
Yeah, Brock Pearson's another guy, another Trump donor that somehow ends up
part
in
of the
Eric Adams'
crypto-
world. He's part of that, so is Eric Trump. There's so much to appeal with the crypto thing, and Eric Adams, who started, remember he said his first paycheck from me in crypto, that was a lie.
He was getting paid in Bitcoin.
He also did, he said that he was going to, as far as, his indictment, it's not real, I followed the law. He just came out with a statement the other day that, I didn't do anything wrong, I didn't pull out of this. But you did pull out, because there's records of it. Who pulled out of it if it's not you? You're one of the people. They're gonna find out. I'm not saying 100% I know he did it, but there's a lot of evidence pointing that way, and this is why you need to investigate this. And this would be a case where it's security exchange fraud. They're going to be looking at security exchange and IRS because he's defrauded all these people.
Wow.
You know, this is, by the way, my favorite place here in this area, which
What is
this is the Colony. A lot of events come here.
Very wealthy people like
Right.
to hang out here.
It's
It's a
also,
common hangout spot.
This place has been around forever. This place has been here forever. Whenever I come to this area, I have to stop here. I always have either a panini and an espresso, but this is the place, at least for me, to be here. Obviously, there's the Breakers and there's Mar-a-Lago, but for me, this is old school. This is the older feel of what was here in West Palm Beach before it got completely overpopulated in these days.
And it epitomizes the concept of being bad and bougie because it's a who's who of the types of people that you'll see in the backyard, elites from all different walks of life, people in the business community, real estate. You can go on for days about who you can see at the Colony, but it's a very nice place, obviously, as you can hear the DJ spinning the discs in the background.
Hopefully,
right?
don't get demonetized for that.
Very, very festive
talking,
atmosphere on
Jack.
Friday as well.
You gotta keep talking.
Yeah.
Get around that
None of my videos are ever allowed to be monetized anyway.
Yeah, see, I find that interesting. Someone the other day, they did a Grok analysis, and it said that your posts seem to be censored. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
So that is actually news that nobody knew. It said that
It was Grok said that.
Grok said that crowdsourced the truth posts or censored.
Algorithmically suppressed due to misinformation or something like that.
Well, this is
But it's
kind
not
of
misinformation.
part of the problem with social media, right? There's so many bots and paid influencers on X nowadays that it's becoming more difficult to differentiate
you
the truth
the
from the
Aston
fiction.
Martin in the red zone, Jack.
Where was I?
Give me the golf
Where
club.
was I supposed
Gotta
to park
back it up.
I'll take the golf club.
He had his Bentley in the way.
Yeah, I mean, Jack, you have all these expensive cars.
You know, in all seriousness, I would be
Can I
scared to
borrow
drive
one?
one of these cars because the moment it gets scratched up, you have to take it to get
$12,000.
fixed. And it's
At
$12,000. You're paying a lot of money in
This
insurance.
is- I'm telling you-
After the first week or two of driving it, I feel like it would get kind of boring too,
That area,
right?
is,
Like,
that area across the street's so nice. It has its own gate. There's
Where's
a little
that?
gate
This?
just to walk down that street. Just to go down the street, there's a
Wow,
there's
look
a
at that.
You don't see this kind of stuff.
Let's go look at that.
This
Yeah,
is
let's take a
a
look.
special area. Okay,
So you're not allowed on this side of the sidewalk. You need
you're
a
just
key.
not allowed. Period. They
This is
Says
the
no
Goldview
trespassing.
Road.
it's all like ultra elite properties too. This
And
is
you-
Palm Beach in a nutshell.
And you
right?
notice how these people stare right at the Colony every single day. And if you look at it, it's just majestic the way it is. Very hard, by the way, it's like reserved forever. If you try to reserve it, good luck.
Yeah, you can't get a reservation at any of these
It's a
restaurants.
hotel or a
on Palm Beach.
restaurant?
It's a
what?
hotel. It's got the little, down here there's a little, like I said, a little cafe, which I believe they close in a couple of hours. I got to get my espresso later. But
And
this
because-
place- this is the place to be in this whole town. For me, I love coming here, sitting down here, and then you go right to the beach a block down. You can't make, this is what kind of like made West Palm back in
Probably
its heyday.
$20 for a coffee in there.
No, it's not that expensive, but they are. It's just, it's a nice environment. Think of when you go to one of these bougier places in Manhattan. This would be that version without dealing with the guy with the needle in his arm and the guy begging for change.
Oh,
One
look,
guy.
Look at this. They got a golf cart taking you to surf.
That's what I want. I want one of these golf carts. The golf cart, by the way, down here in South Florida, you see a lot of people with them, and that's how they get around. It's electric. It's easier to do that than pay for gas, obviously, but it's easier to take a golf cart and go from neighborhood to neighborhood than taking your car, whereas now there wasn't so much traffic. There's a lot more traffic today than there was years ago. Why? Because all of the disgruntled New York City voters want to come move down here, and then you want to
That
vote
includes
Democrat.
us, though.
I don't want you here if you're going to vote that way. Do not come here. Stay in New York City, enjoy Mamdani, enjoy the Democrats, because you screwed over Curtis Lewa. But you gotta, if you're gonna come here, enjoy the view, and you gotta vote at least in a common sense way. It might be a common sense Democrat, but we can't have what's going on up there where, it's just loony bin. Everyone running up there is like a loony bin in New York City. I saw today, Jennifer Rajkumar.
Is that the DEI person?
She is in the state assembly. She's
Campaigns
in
for
Queens.
public advocate as well.
So-
Lost to
yeah,
Jumaane Williams.
So Jennifer Rajkumar apparently had a city council meeting in the 102nd precinct, did it on Zoom, and it was naked pictures popping
yeah,
up.
I saw that on your
What
end.
kind of,
Yeah.
like, listen, what kind of fiasco? Shout out to Susan Edelman,
was
by
that
the way.
coming from the cops, or who put up those?
You don't know.
photographs?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody
They just
knows.
popped up on
It
the
just
screen. It
pops
was
up
kind of
some-
corrupted.
They're saying it's a
seems.
hacker, whatever
Yeah,
that means.
the
Hacker.
cops said it was a hacker.
The hacker. It's always a hacker. Ooh, you know, I thought we had the drones. You have all these special programs and things that are going on in New York City, NYPD, but you can't get pornography out of a simple city council a meeting. A council. It was. I can't believe that happened. But Jennifer Rajkumar, as you know, the lady in the red dress, who was rumored to be one of Eric Adams' side pieces at one point, was.
Shorty from the
Yeah, she was
Rockaways?
one of his shorties. But
Just
she
like
was-
Jasmine Ray.
Just like, yeah, Jasmine Ray, another shorty apparently. But she was a frequenter of Con Sofrito, where she was seen with Eddie Caban's brother, Jimmy Rodriguez, Letitia James, the list could go on and on. So seeing that on the screen made me think, wait a minute. I mean, is this not too far-fetched for this person to have this kind of fiasco surrounding her, since she would surround herself with the most insane people and criminals at Con Sofrito? But hey, that's what you get when you vote people like that in office.
I have another theory, and I believe that those images were being put up somehow, some way
To
by
embarrass them?
a member of New York City Council to embarrass everyone.
Oh, a fellow
involved.
member.
Yeah, it was
To
a fellow
embarrass
member.
a
This
fellow
was
member.
very much so an inside job. Was it Chayo Say, perhaps, someone else who wanted to kind of distract all the members from the meeting? Who knows? But it's too weird, Jason, for those
I
images
agree.
to just start popping up. Like,
Yeah, I don't
there
think
has
that
to
was
be
an
some
accident.
level of planning and collusion to pull that off.
I agree, but you know, people tend to call me a conspiracy theorist for saying something like that. I don't have any direct evidence,
No.
but I
This
agree
way.
with you. That seems logical.
Yeah, there's a park on that corner. I want to show you. There's a little park. Oh, we got traffic here. But yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people call you, like I said, people love to say, you know, Jason's a conspiracy theorist. But you know what? Like I said, out of conspiracies, always going to be something that ends up becoming true, and you go, wait a minute. So you need to do things like that. You need to question things. You just can't go overboard like certain people out there. You know, that's the whole Ultimate Warrior clan. You got to be careful with that stuff. I mean,
Jason-
some of that stuff is outrageous. But Jason, he makes the right questions, and a lot of times Jason gives you documents too. So it's okay to question things and ask for clarification, something that the NYPD doesn't like to do either. So city government and federal government, they don't like to give any clarifications. So don't be jumping down, you know, Jason's throat, conspiracy theorists. There's plenty of conspiracy theorists.
It's not a conspiracy theory either if it's rooted in factual accuracy. There's a
true.
lot of things that our government is not telling us right now, and as such, we're allowed to be skeptical and question the dynamics of everything that's happening in our lives, especially politically speaking, where it feels like for certain elections, the fix has always kind of been in, right?
Especially around here, apparently. Apparently how they do things in,
This is another
Around
thing people
Florida
like
might
to
be
do
the
in
question.
Palm Beach. They get bikes from the other
Yeah.
side of the bridge in West Palm Beach by where the Brightline train station is. It's a commuter rail here
yeah.
in South Florida. A very nice upscale commuter rail. It's not like taking the LIRR.
Pretty new, right? I remember
Very
when
new.
they
Within the
launched
past
it.
couple of years, it utilizes a bullet train that was actually originated in China.
Wow.
Much better than Metro North, New Jersey Transit, all that other stuff. But people will rent a bike from the Brightline, and then they'll take it to Palm Beach on the other side of the bridge. So it's like kind of a fun activity that a lot of
and
people like to do.
this is a little bit of a park. Today don't have the water out, but over there, I
It's like
believe.
we're in Rome.
It's
yeah,
dirty too. It's disgusting.
This
You would
is-
think that
this is-
people
this
have the
is
audacity
disgusting.
to clean it.
In
Meanwhile-
Rome, I think I've seen people drinking out of those.
What? Really?
I'm pretty sure people drink out of those things in Rome.
Were they
clean.
sitting on the toilet a few hours later, or?
I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
mistaken.
Well,
It
you
also
see,
could have been the
look-
90s.
You see here in the middle, they have a water fountain, and people just come here and they can do, you know, you want to read a book, you want to sit down, you want to be on your cell phone. This is a right nice little area to do it. You can eat, you know, but this is like the little bit of a, you're going into the little town square here almost, and you can kind of see how things are a little more mild-mannered, and you know, it's like you can't speak at a certain level because it's like, whoa,
It's
I mean,
true.
you can almost hear a pin drop out
Sal,
here.
people enjoyed the animal kingdom aspect.
Yes.
We don't have any birds around.
No, because you're inside the town, but you're getting to see a plethora of people that live in West
true.
Palm, and this is like the middle of the town of where the beach is, and you just saw the most, infamous hotel around it. It was a Colony. So, but you're getting a glimpse, and look how nice they got the clock down there. This little square they made here that has a statue.
And you hear different languages too. I hear people speaking Russian, people speaking Hebrew, people speaking Yiddish. This is a surprisingly diverse community.
Nobody
of different
speaks
types of
Italian.
people,
I don't
yeah.
know why.
You do.
I do, but I'm the only. I guess
And we
I'm
have a
the
little photo shoot going on here as well.
How did you learn to speak Italian? Just around the house as a kid?
I'm the first generation of my family in America.
But
I
you
was
speak
the only.
fluent Italian.
Yes, I can speak and read, and yes, I love my cafes, as you know. I mean, I grew up in Bensonhurst. That was the thing to do in Bensonhurst, and then Bay Ridge and Staten Island. But I remember I lived here first. I came here in 1988
Sal,
into
now is the perfect
1989.
moment for you to speak Russian.
I worked in Brighton Beach, and I have quite the memories of working there and having to deal with a lot of the
Felix Sater.
nefarious characters in Brighton Beach.
I guess you weren't in the cops back then when Felix Sater was getting jammed up. He's
No,
He's a
no.
little older than me. He might
But
be
his name
56 or
is
something.
his name still, rings in Brighton Beach. But remember, Brighton Beach went through a lot of different phases and also different kind of criminals. Because when I was around there, the big thing was the guy at Rasputin. Rasputin was a nightclub that was on Coney Island Avenue and Avenue X.
Yep.
And they had that Tatiana night.
Tatiana, which
Yeah,
is
Tatiana right on the boardwalk.
Tatiana's
Beautiful, beautiful restaurant.
nice people there.
Yeah.
They loved
I
us.
went there
They
with
loved-
my ex-wife. She was Ukrainian.
Tatiana's loves.
Dude, there was so
Cops
much
there.
booze in that place.
Well, the people
And cigarette smoking.
people like to drink there even in the middle of January when it was 10 degrees, and you'll
Yeah.
find them sleeping on the boardwalk afterwards, passed out drunk. They came out of Tatiana's. They try to calm that down over the years, but that's kind of what I would deal with. But Tatiana, I don't have a bad thing to say. Those guys were always nice to me.
There was a
and
feast going
they
on in
fed
there.
us nice.
Yeah.
And no, we paid for our meals. Don't even go there. No, but Tatiana's was a great place to eat. But Rasputin, that was a nightclub where now those nefarious characters would come in and out of.
Speaking of
So-
nightclubs, we're coming up on one of the nicer nightclubs in Palm Beach in a little while, Cochino. But back to Brighton Beach, it's amazing how the crime in that area started out being more blue collar and then eventually evolved into becoming more white collar with the origination of Oceana and some more wealthy,
Oh, yes,
affluent
the Oceana,
oligarch type people moving into the area
There's
and
a
really
lot of
kind
oligarchs
of
there.
taking over, running these $1 million schemes to get
Huh.
health benefits and that sort of thing. So,
Really?
yeah, no, it was in an area that changed a lot over my
This
time
is
in New York
beautiful.
City.
Look at this.
There's another little park, as you can tell. Here, the fountains were beautiful. They worked. They cleaned. They scrubbed them.
How much money would people pay me to drink out of that? I don't think I'm going to actually
I'm not-
do it.
No,
but-
you shouldn't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's also very chlorinated and everything. This is a lovely little
It's very nice.
water
Yeah.
feature.
I also believe, if my memory doesn't mistake me, this was a parking lot that they turned into.
Wow.
A park.
Yeah.
This was a parking lot.
Yeah.
And they dedicated it to being a park, which, as you could tell, depending on what time of day it is, you might have the sun right here, and you can sit here, and it's just, this is a nice place to relax in the middle of West Palm, right?
It's definitely much calmer than New York City. Now, wait a second.
course, you
Look
don't-
at this.
Like I say, you don't have the guy coming to beg and try to, sell you things.
Asking for $1 and a cigarette.
Give me $1.
Isn't that type of thing symbolic of something?
A failing city?
No, that acorn or whatever that is.
It looked more like a pineapple to me than an acorn. I don't
Yeah.
know,
Pine
maybe
cone, yeah.
It's a
a pine cone.
This is where you can come here and gather your thoughts,
true.
and it's very quiet. Remember, you're still 1 block away. The beach is directly to our right, so you could still go right to the beach and you're back to being it's the sunshine state. But look how quiet it is here, and there's nice little stores too. Like here, there's little stores. They they sell. I mean, like little boutiques. They're not like the stores you just saw that were like, I don't know what you're worth and how much you make, but you need a certain bank account to go into. But here is like another little, a little town square where there's boutiques.
Yeah,
There's
well,
a nice restaurant across the
Buchan.
street.
Yeah, Buchan right over here has some of the best sandwiches I have ever had in my life. If you ever are in Palm Beach, get a Cubano with the homemade roasted pork, or get a falafel sandwich with the tahini sauce.
The
Absolutely
kosher pork
delicious.
they have over there.
No, it's not. It's a good one, Jason. No, it's actually not.
Do you ever
kosher
see
pork.
Trump rolling around in Palm Beach?
You
Not
know,
this area. No.
not this area. He doesn't come around this area, but I have seen him a couple times with his security detail riding through West Palm, getting on the bridge at Point Siena Way, which
That's
is right up here.
Secret Service for you,
Yes.
not security.
Yeah, Secret
Secret
Service.
Service.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, so I've seen him with his Secret Service, right? As
There's
Trump
an
would
old
say.
Sunoco sign here, not the
Yeah.
not the
This
new
is
one.
actually one of the most expensive cars we've seen so far. The Saudi
Yes.
Arabian government pays about $300,000 to make each one of those.
No way, really?
Oh yeah, they lose something like 80 grand per vehicle.
It's weird.
Also, you left your gold C7 over here.
Yeah. I don't think I ever can remember a time where I saw as many foreign cars in this country. We were talking
Why
about
would
it
you
right
get it
before
in
we started
gold,
the stream.
Jack?
I don't know. I wanted to be fly. I felt like a pimp driving around in a gold car. What can I
That'll
say?
do it.
You have gold teeth.
People, it's parked in front of the, what is it, a Cadillac behind it there?
Now,
Can't
if you
even
were
see from
working
here.
at this auto body shop, Jason, wouldn't you have the temptation, almost an innate urge to drive some of these cars for a joyride somewhere?
Wow, look, here we got a classic Mustang.
If you just sell enough bitcoins and pull
Oh
out.
my God, that's a GT 350.
Yeah.
If you
Well, actually, no, it says GT 500 there.
Yeah, GT
Right,
500.
exactly. GT 500 and Shelby. Holy cow.
If you sell enough bitcoins or do a
Holy
rug pull, you might
cow.
afford one. You know. That's an antique.
How much do you think this car costs?
We'd have to look it up, but this is an extremely rare and very super clean, incredibly desirable Shelby GT 500
It's
Mustang.
super nice.
So
yeah.
you're telling me if I do a rug pull on a Bitcoin somewhere in the market,
You
I
might
can
be able to
afford
get
this?
one.
Perhaps.
This is more Sal style. Not
Muscle
not the
car.
gold.
No.
If you could drive any car in the world, what would you drive?
Any car in the world. Any car in the world. It's a difficult question. I think 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid.
Escape
No, I'm
hybrid?
kidding.
You saw the look on my face. I'm like, what? That's an
what I
everyday
already had.
commuter car.
That's what I already
But if
have.
you could have, because a lot of rich people in Palm Beach actually drive normal cars and then have a fun car as like their second joyriding car, right? So if you could get a second joyriding car, what would it be? For me, I grew up obviously loving Fast and Furious, so it would be one of those Ferraris with butterfly doors. I don't know which one I would get, but I would want to test drive and figure it out.
you know, it's a tough question.
This feels like a spring day in New York City would
It
feel
is
like.
beautiful.
But you know, you're freezing over there right now.
And of course, ironically enough, we're right in front of the police department headquarters
Oh
as
wow,
well.
let's go look at that.
Yes, this is it. Yeah, and also the water fountain I was.
Let's
telling you.
jaywalk over to that.
I hope we don't get a citation.
Do they cite you for jaywalking in Palm Beach?
So I've never seen anyone get citationed for jaywalking, but I have seen people get a warning for jaywalking because there's been areas with high probability of a traffic accident, and officers have nicely gone over and warned people. You're not allowed to jaywalk here because we've had a lot of issues. I think part of the problem in Florida is some streets have like 4 lanes and the lights turn green so infrequently that people almost feel the need to jaywalk, and that's when the accidents tragically start to
Look
happen.
how beautiful this
unfortunately.
water fountain. There's another area you come to, and you can just chill out and relax.
Oops, sorry. We got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse here.
Of the apocalypse? How do we know they're from the apocalypse?
I don't know. It's just 4 horses.
But this is, I mean, look how beautiful it is.
Is
here.
this like a Venetian design or something
And
like
not-
that?
and not-
All of
and
the
not because
fountains.
the police are across the street, you know, and my brethren, but
It
this
feels
is-
like all of the fountains that we've seen so far on Palm Beach Island have been a little bit different. One
there
was
it is.
smaller,
The GT 500
one
is
was
taking
skinny.
off.
Oh, Jason, it's taking off. The car's taking off.
Oh, we should go talk to that guy. It's too late.
Is he leaving?
Damn, we just missed it. We could have had a good conversation with the owner.
And see, this is kind of the dynamic of Palm Beach in a nutshell. You see the Honda behind that car backing up because he's scared to hit him. People like to drive around their bougie toys like they're playing GTA over here, which is a problem.
This has got to be an enthusiast.
Oh, it definitely is. And he took it out and he's only putting it in the auto body shop now. So, I mean, you wonder why he was parked there.
That.
It's just getting gas.
Oh. Everyone's kind of standing around and watching.
You
too.
can't drive that car more than 10 feet without having to fill it up.
That is a true muscle car.
Probably 5 miles to the gallon.
How much do you think that thing costs?
200 grand? I really don't know.
200 grand?
Could easily be that. Maybe more. I mean, GT 500, let's ask the guy what's going on.
Yeah, let's ask it. If he's parked for a moment, I'm sure he would be okay with it. Let's sneak up on him.
Back to
No,
jaywalking.
I don't think you want to sneak.
No, we're not sneaking up on anyone. I kid, of course.
Back
but
to
yeah,
jaywalking we go.
let's go try and have a conversation with the guy.
There's a lot of really interesting cars in here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Amazing car.
Thank you.
Are you the original owner of this?
No, I've had it though 15 years.
You sound like you're from Australia.
No, I'm from England, from London.
London, sorry.
This
And
is
did
something
you restore
special.
it?
This is special.
It was restored, but actually, yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
How much horsepower is the GT500 got?
I don't want to be hanging on that. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
no problem.
Please delete him.
Okay, well, we'll take it away.
No, please take it away from me.
Taking it away from you
Thank
right
you very
now.
much.
Okay.
All right, we got a lot of people in the witness protection program.
Yeah, I
apparently.
guess so. Well, some people like to keep a low profile. You protect their privacy. You ask questions. You want
He's
to
in
learn.
public. He's
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you want to learn a little bit more
should
about
have
his
told
life.
me to go away. But he's in the witness protection program or something, hanging out with his GT.
Or he's involved in shady business proceedings in some way, shape, or form.
Sal.
I mean, you never know.
What do you
Sal's the
think of that
expert.
interaction?
I don't know why he's not so friendly and he wants to put his hands on
Well,
cameras.
exactly. He was about to say he's in something, but then he stopped himself.
Yeah.
We were
Perhaps
giving
he
him
took
good
the fifth.
publicity too. I don't really
He's-
understand why he was
he's-
so shy.
He's pleading the fifth. You think he's
pleading
part
the
of?
fifth.
You
He
think he's
didn't
part
want
of?
publicity.
You think he's saying I'm in the witness? Oh, I can't tell you that.
Something like that.
I mean,
Although, it's a bad idea to drive around in a GT500 if you're in the witness protection program. It's like that scene in Goodfellas where everybody shows up with their wife with a mink coat and a new Eldorado.
yeah. Get that out of here. Get that out
With
of
the
here.
ice pick in the next scene.
Well, I mean, you would think in general that people would be nice around here, right? I come from the scenery, but the class of people versus the class of people that I usually hang around, just remember what you're dealing with. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm being politically correct, but just remember that when you're here.
It's a little more low-key and chill on the other side of the bridge in West Palm Beach. This is
Yeah.
a little more pretentious
Oh,
and
yeah.
rude and disrespectful. West Palm Beach is actually becoming like the Silicon Valley of South Florida,
Is it?
more or less, with a bunch of
Technology
young
companies
young
here?
tech entrepreneurs, people starting their own
But
businesses.
just living here or actually having companies here?
Both. Some people open up their company here, some people work remotely, but it's like a very also like yoga, fitness, Pilates, all of these various exercise routines are extremely popular. I mean, you see Laura Trump
Well, if you want to bag a billionaire, you got to be hot. Now, so
Yeah.
is this the same Palm Beach Police Department? This is where that detective, what was his name, who got killed at 53, or he died at 53, who was investigated? Ricari, I think his name was.
That was here?
That was the guy who was investigating Epstein, and he uploaded video to
Oh.
Dugan's whistleblower website, and then mysteriously died at age 50 or 53, something like that. Mark Ricari, I think his name was.
He worked here?
I'm pretty sure, Palm Beach detective.
I mean, the building looks nice. I've never
Doesn't
been
it?
inside, but I mean, compared to what you see in New York City, unless
yeah,
you're
and
willing to pay
even
millions
even
of dollars.
other areas of South Florida don't have police buildings that look this
No,
nice.
I mean, obviously it's the Bouget Police Department building,
Absolutely.
but you're not going to get that in other police departments. But
Fancy motorcycle. Right?
And this is where you really notice the difference between the amount of taxpayer revenue coming in,
Right.
because
That's
rarely
right.
do you see police departments that are perfectly painted. I mean, look at this gold paint
well,
right
look
here.
at the mosaic tile.
And the
on
mosaic
stairs.
styles on the steps.
yeah,
I mean, you go to a police department on the other side of the bridge. There's like tape all around it and
Exactly.
benches that are broken. It does not look
look,
like
even
this.
they dedicated a bench here in New York City. They say that's a crime. You can't dedicate anything on a public property.
Is that true?
Well, have you ever seen a bench that says dedicated on the property in New York
In
City?
parks, they have that.
See that? Well, is this part of parks though? Because it
I
says
don't know.
erected in 1986.
It's almost like I wouldn't be scared of committing a crime if I knew I was going to be coming here of all places. You know,
know
it's
about
not it's not exactly the best deterrent.
They're probably not going to like us recording them. They're still cops.
No, they still are cops. True.
But
Well,
there's
so
not,
what else is happening in the news,
but
guys?
it's not
We're getting-
illegal to do that.
We're getting close to an hour here. What else do we want?
I'd say I want to go back to the colony then.
Okay,
Because you
sure.
can end in front of the colony.
Perfect.
I'd say, well, We covered a lot on our favorite corrupt mayor that now is not around, but...
What about this new DEI director that he hired, head of equity or whatever it is?
Oh, yes, that's another... You know, well, you got to understand that they're putting in... This is like the de Blasio agenda, because remember, his shadow looms large on this administration. He's hired a lot of his cronies, and of course, he's hired a lot of Eric Adams' cronies. So it's like, you know, you got to expect, like, there's other things going on, and they're enforcing. I saw something about they're giving cops the LGBTQIA training from an executive order from the mayor.
Wow.
In 2016.
What?
So this is a Bill de Blasio era executive order that's being enforced
finally doing now?
10 years later.
Yeah, it's a retread, and I'm happy you brought that up, Sal, because it feels like everything that's taken place under the Mamdani administration up until this point, including Council Speaker Julie Menon coming out today and saying they're going to combat anti-Semitism, it feels like it's one big distraction, because instead of talking about ideological beliefs or race or religion or DEI, how about we focus on affordability, lowering taxes, and making New York City and other cities all across this country more affordable for average everyday Americans.
Another
That's
beautiful place.
really the biggest problem at hand here, and it feels like
the salad place is closed.
we're kind of trying to distract everyone from the issues at
I
hand.
don't think the government can make things more affordable except by reducing taxes. That's the only way the government should really get involved in making things more affordable. Because, like we were saying earlier, the more they try to do stuff with business, the more it approaches communism. We just, you know, if credit card rates are too high, people need to get sued by the credit card companies or charge less or pay more interest or whatever. I don't like the idea of Trump saying capping the credit card interest. I don't know enough about it, but I saw some financial person had a thing saying that if you cap that interest, then it's going to make credit cards for people who don't run up big balances more expensive because they need to fund.
Really?
I don't know. I just think they got to mess with that stuff less.
I agree. Well, you know, I think you want smaller government, correct?
Smaller government.
This is
exactly.
what I thought we were electing.
We haven't even touched on any of the stuff happening in Iran. I guess it's beyond certainly my expertise, but it's good to hear about the inside stories from the NYPD and what's going on with City Council.
You need to know, because that's the largest police department in the world, and the largest law enforcement agency in the world, and a lot of things are being affected. Remember, law enforcement, just whatever happens in NYPD is going to happen in your police department. That's what's one area. I mean, obviously, because me and Jason and Jack, we're all from New York, so we always have that special place in our heart. Obviously, if you really think I think about New York 24/7, look where I am right now. I'm not thinking about. I am just showing you there's a way to fix this. I just don't know if it'll ever be done, and I think there's a lot of bureaucracy you got to cut through. But it looks like whoever gets elected always brings in the same retreads, and we repeat the problem. We repeat the problem. This guy's.
Doesn't that suggest, Sal, that the bureaucracy controls the democracy? That the same people are always around? That Mamdani or whoever it is basically just a figurehead?
I'm happy you brought that term up, because he's used his status in society to constantly twist the narrative, because his constituents now have this cult-like worshipship for him, right? Like at the very beginning of his mayoralty, he was saying, we're not going to be retaining anyone from the previous administration. I want to bring in fresh faces. I want to change things. He gave off that tune. He never said that in those words, but he always talked about having fresh, young, new faces in City Hall. Yet instead, we've gotten the same retreads from Eric Adams and Bill de Blasio. And when people have asked him, confronted him about this, he said, well, I didn't want to hold it against people that they were tied to previous regimes. I wanted to evaluate them based on their work, not who they were affiliated with. So it's clearly a doctoring of the narrative constantly.
Jack, what caused you to move to Florida? When did you leave New York?
I left New York in June of 2024, about a year and a half ago.
And why did you decide to do that?
Why did I decide to move to Florida? Well, obviously the cost of living is a lot lower. The weather is absolutely beautiful. I do a lot of my work remotely, so I could pretty much live wherever I wanted to, and West Palm Beach was like the perfect place for me. I wanted like more of a small town community type vibe too, where you see a lot of people you know walking on the street, everyone kind of is familiar with one another, and There's
A lot
really
of
like
people in the witness protection program.
exactly, and it really just feels like a small town community. For people my age, it's almost like being back in college again. Yet instead of being with 18 to 22-year-olds, you're with people roughly in the 25 to 30-year-old age range as well. So those were all. That was kind of my reason
See,
and rationale.
isn't Jack a wealth of knowledge here?
He's a wealth of knowledge.
See, he brings value to the show. He has a whole different
I'm glad
appeal.
you joined us
See?
today.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy I joined you guys as well. There is no place I would rather be on a Friday than on Worth Ave with Jason Goodman.
What
and
about
Sal.
a Marlins game?
That's coming.
Not in January.
Jason, I'm
January.
furious you brought that up because I'm thinking that we're all going to have to, Sal, you're not going to like this idea, but I'm thinking that after the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker and the rich got richer and are now going to win another World Series, we should all boycott Major League Baseball for
I
the
never watch
2026
it, so that's
season.
easy.
Well, the Mets just signed Bo Bichette, so time out on all of that Dodger talk right now. The Mets are still in it.
Yeah,
They
but
still have the richest owner in the world owning a baseball
so
team.
to make a
don't you have to be from Queens to like the Mets?
to make a parallel analogy here, the Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker and then the Mets one-upping them with Bo Bichette is like, Jason, if I went out and bought a Ferrari and then you pulled up next to me in a Lexus. It's like not the same, right? So the Mets are not giving the Dodgers.
Bichette is younger.
Bichette is younger, but he's also missed more time due to injury. He doesn't really have a position as of right now. David Stearns came out and said he's going to play third base. He's probably more natural at second base, but Marcus Simeon's going to be there. So, I mean, the problem with Major League Baseball, though, in a nutshell, is that the sport is wholly uncompetitive. It's like the NBA of the late 2010s when the Golden State Warriors won practically every single year, and it's not fun anymore. So
Should they bring back steroids?
Don't do it in
ne-
NYPD. They had a whole
should,
memo
they should
about
never
that.
bring back steroids.
Oh, that's right. So the last
Oh,
thing
you had
was
a drug test thing.
so first of all, like the NYPD, they put a memo out. They're big on this. Don't go to vitamin shop and don't take steroids because we're gonna drug test you. So they put a memo out.
Does Vitamin Shop sell steroids?
But what are they saying?
Who knew?
You're gonna test positive. But the thing is, the tests are false positives because that company, Psychmedics, their test is invalid. They even told all their stock members why their stock tanked to begin with. Okay.
Didn't Canada find it invalid? Oh no, Boston.
Boston found it invalid. Then you have the latest memo they put out. There's a structural change because the deputy commissioner of labor relations is no longer there. They obsoleted this position. Now they fall under the deputy commissioner of budget. And then the last thing is the CRT team. I thought she said, the soccer mom, they were going to become the Q team.
Critical response.
They're going to get rid of the critical response team. And now apparently, judging
What's
by the
difference
bulletin,
between critical response and special
well,
resource
critical
group?
response, they wear the beige pants. They've been running around. They've been causing a lot of damage.
They're called the Khaki Cowboys,
Oh, I love
for those of you who are unaware.
And what
Hey,
is
you might
what
have,
is what is
your
the difference?
future
though?
wife there.
What is the difference between that and the special response group or whatever that other one is?
Well, they're responding to protests. Was that question for me or him? Or,
Well,
you know.
it's okay. Well, no, the difference is the CRT team was created so that they gave an extra star to Mr. John Shell, who's made a real
that's
jerk
what
of
I
himself.
wanted to get to.
He made a jerk of himself online and basically admitted that there's DEI hiring practices, or maybe he's too drunk to realize
Yes.
what he said. Either way, I mean, it's ridiculous what that guy has said and done. There'll be more on that on Monday, by the way. But the CRT team is now looking for detectives and cops for Manhattan North CRT team, which means what? I thought they got rid of that. They were going to get rid of that team. So once again, you need clarification from the soccer mom and the mayor who told you one thing and they're doing another. And this is exactly what happened on the
Here
Bill
it is,
Bratton.
Jack. That's the dream car.
It is.
Any car, that's it.
What model is that?
That's a
even?
great
Is
It's
car.
it
like
a-
the Volkswagen Thing, 1978.
Is it a real car even, or
I
is
don't
it more
think
of a
so.
wagon?
Is
Oh, I
that-
had no
is that-
idea.
as long as that's not gas.
It's an electric Hilton.
Yeah, I
If
thought
it's
it was an
electric,
electric.
we're in business.
I'm teasing.
And those cars only go about 25 miles an hour at its
We
max.
see
You're not going to catch me in that.
we see clarification, Jason. That's what we want. We want transparency. Doesn't matter where it is. I'm on top of this because, as you know, I came from the NYPD, so I'll always have inside baseball on that. Well, as you know, on the Sal Greco show, we cover just about anything. I've been covering Minneapolis. We cover, geopolitical events, Trump administration,
National.
national, whatever you want. I cover sports, a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. And Jason, you mentioned Iran a little bit earlier, how that's out of kind of your ballpark a little bit. But Iran's hardly the first country that we've been involved with recently, right? Because we were involved with Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman even came to the White House to meet with President Trump. Obviously, we went overseas to Caracas and captured Nicolas Maduro. So we've been kind of putting our fingers in other people's pies a little bit too much recently. It depends on who you ask. I mean, listen, the people of Venezuela were suffering. We have to do something to help them.
Just don't do regime change. That's all we're saying.
With
Which
They gave Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. That Caracas, that Venezuelan
you can't, you're
opposition leader.
not allowed to do that.
also with Venezuela, we talked about this a lot on our show, but the regime change is hardly going to be
Secondhand.
yielding better results for the citizens of Venezuela. So
the
We've
re-gifter
seen-
gifter, is that
we've
the re-gifter
People
gifter?
who are in Venezuela, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens there. I agree. We got enough problems in the United States that we should be focusing on. But people are going to tune into the Sal Greco show. Follow Sal on X at the Sal Greco. Sal, you got to remind everybody where else they should be going to follow you and check out all of the great stuff.
So follow me on X at the Sal Greco, also on Instagram at the Sal Greco. For the Sal Greco show, you can watch it streaming live on X at the Sal Greco, on Rumble at the Sal Greco show, and on YouTube at the Sal Greco show. And the show will be on at 11:05 a.m. Mondays and Thursdays. Also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at the Sal Greco show and on TikTok at the Sal Greco show, where you'll see little quick hits that I give you.
You're tearing up TikTok. You
yeah,
have a lot on TikTok.
I am. TikTok, I'm growing real quick, and I'm late to the game with this, but there's a whole new audience there. And Jack, who's my producer and the wingman on the show.
Co-host now,
Co-host, he does a little bit of everything. He's got to do everything. You can follow him on X at J_Stern97. The same year that, unfortunately, Biggie Smalls perished. You know that.
yeah, we were having a conversation about this earlier. As you get older, it feels like all of the years in your life start to squish together. Like if someone gave me a pop quiz right now and said, tell me 3 things that happened in 2016, 2019, and 2021, I'd be like, let me do some research on that. It's
2016,
weird.
Trump gets elected. 2019, Epstein. 2021,
You have a good memory. A lot better than
2021,
us.
January 6th.
There you go.
Those are
Well, you have to
some
name
key
3
events.
events for each year, though. But it's okay. You're off to a nice start.
Yeah,
I'll give you a pass
unfortunately,
here.
some people still live in a shadow of something that was already debunked. But
That's true.
Monday, by the way, watch my show Monday. You'll hear plenty about some stuff I'm about to lay out in court. We'll see.
New start time as well, so enjoy some morning coffee, cappuccino, croissant, whatever you want to eat in the morning. Bagel with lox, bagel with cream cheese, whatever it may be.
And salgreco.com/support. Hit the support button, help out the show, or you can come on and you give us some cafecito and bagels. People donate as super fans. So
Somebody's going over the wall here.
there we go. Oh, you gotta be careful.
Very good.
This is what I do in the summer. It's just easy. It's
Exactly.
easier than just going all the way down there and going through that little what is that? Like the stairway. It's like far away from here.
Yeah, most people actually, when they get on the beach here, they'll just hop the fence right here instead of using
And
the
just
normal
remember,
entrance.
there was a pier at one time right here.
No
right in
longer
this-
peer. This was part of our peer review series, but there is no peer.
There's no pier, but
Thanks for joining me today, guys, and thanks to everybody who's sponsoring Crowdsource the Truth.
Continue
on
doing that.
Subscribestar.com
Absolutely.
and Patreon.com/Crowdsource the Truth, and on crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com. Don't forget to follow me on X at JG_CSTT here with Jack and Sal, signing off from Palm Beach. Have a great day.